So welcome to the first of hopefully many digital marketing meetups. So I'm Phil from Accelerate, as is Nick, who is also here, and Will is also at the back, and Kat as well. We've kind of, although the meetup itself has been running for a couple of years, we wanted to try and kind of do it a bit more properly, do some more presentations, obviously get some food, and kind of make it more useful and helpful sort of thing. And also a chance for us to kind of share some of the cool things that, like free tips and tools and stuff like that we can give away to you guys so you can use that and hopefully it's helpful. So with that in mind, so this is a talk on some of the free tools that we've been using and some of the best ones. We'll post the link to these slides kind of on the meetup comments and on our blog later, and we'll just sort of send them out. Some of these are kind of interactive, but there's examples kind of on the screen that I'll jump to in a second. If you do need to access the Wi-Fi on your phones or laptops, it's just the Volley private, there's no password or anything. Also there's toilets which are just on this floor, just either directly there or there, you don't need to kind of go like downstairs. And if there's a fire, don't use that door because you can't open it. So. And these are the kitchen as well. So.
Just the windows.
Squeeze through the
Where do we go first?
Cool. So those are some of the tools we're going to go through now. So a quick bit about myself. So I'm Phil. I'm a senior analyst. I also do technical SEO and been around for too long. And fun fact, I'm an identical twin. So my twin brother, who's here, he got married a little while ago, and we don't look quite as similar now as we did because my twin brother teaches tennis. So you can spot the kind of the tennis tan versus me being a bit more kind of whiter. So definitely need to kind of get out more. I'm still trying to train my brother to do digital marketing and analytics, but it's a bit of work in progress. So we'll see. Cool, these are some of the clients we've worked on over the years, loads of big crazy projects. With the stuff we're going to go through today, we'll go through these kind of 5 tools, they're all free. If we've got more time, there's some other stuff we can go through as well. And so the first one, this is a cool little tool. You can try this from your mobile phones as well. If you search for Sitebeam Nibbler, Silktide Nibbler even, just on Google, I would just try it from your mobile phones rather than the Wi-Fi because it's got a threshold limit on it. And if you enter a domain on that, it'll say enter your client's domain or your domain, and it will take a few moments to kind of spin round and do a few things. Eventually, it will just scan 5 pages of your website. And it will come up with some suggestions. So you'll also get a score in the top corner on there. So feel free to kind of shout out your scores and see who's got the highest one. We'll get a free drink for the person that's got the highest score. See what it says on that. You'll also notice it breaks out the score on this one. It'll say an overall one, and then some tips for accessibility, experience, and marketing. There's a couple of things we can do today. And also, if you click on any of these links on the right-hand side, it will jump to it and tell you a bit more detail about it. So, for instance, I think we've got on our site, there's a couple of meta descriptions that we need to kind of update.
Yeah, so I think that's the headings, but one of the headings you can't really, it's difficult to actually put in the keyword you want for your homepage, otherwise it looks a bit snappy sometimes.
No.
So these are just a little bit of a litmus test, so it's a kind of a guide. If you were going to just quickly audit a website for, let's say, SEO suggestions, these are really good kind of starting points. So I'm curious to see, what did it come back on your site when you tried it? It might, as it'll take a few moments to kind of whiz around. As I said, if you click, when it loads, you can click on one of these, and then it will show you more detail. I'll just show it actually. If I jump to an example one here.
8.1.
Okay, 8.1. All right. That's really good. Anyway, we've won that one. So you've on here. I just jumped to this one here, and there is a meta tag that we need to update, or it's found that says sort of needs to be mentioned. For example, or headings. Okay, well, let's say printability, for example, and it just found that there was some pages which are not printable. We're not really worried about it, it's not a PDF or a brochure site, but it then tells you why it thinks they're not printable. So you can click on it and then jump to a specific point and it tells you why and then more details. Did anyone beat, was it 8 or something? No, 7.4. 7.4. Okay. 8.6. Oh my word. Any more advances on 8.6? Okay, mark 1, 3. Okay, so to the end. Cool. And did that tell you anything that you didn't know already? Were there any kind of useful bits or pieces on that what were like, oh, that's handy, I didn't know there's some titles missing on these pages, or some description missing, etc.?
Well, mine says I'm not linked to Facebook.
Okay.
My page is not linked to Facebook.
Okay.
It's still good surprise, so that's.
So it will scan the site, it will look for an HTML link for Facebook. So if you've got the Facebook, the JavaScript for the plus button, it may not necessarily find it.
Yeah, I'm not redoing
Okay. And it's only scanning the 5 pages, so it's just doing not the whole of the website. Cool. And next one. Oh, this was slightly anyway. Whoops, all around. Another one. Now there's 2 heat map tools I was going to mention in here. The first one, and the reason why heat maps are useful. So if you're trying to figure out is my website effective, both for SEO and for usability, heat map is a good kind of way of detecting that. I'll give you an example of why a heat map is useful. These are 2 images. They look pretty similar, but if the user is looking at them, they may perform very slightly differently. On this one, you notice that the kind of the mouse movements, which are correlated with where the person is looking, are very different between these 2 images. Much kind of darker, exactly, yeah. If you look at them, you see the eye is slightly different here. It's a subtle change, but it turns out people look where other people are looking. So if you're looking over there, someone's like, why is everyone looking over there? It's like, oh, it's you know. And if you're walking down the street, just try looking up like this, and I guarantee people will look up where you're looking to see them. Exactly the same reason. The pictures on your website, your hero images, should look where you want people to look. So there's a button that says buy here. You want those images to look at that button. You'll get these sort of heat maps. There's 2 good ways to get heat mapping tools. This is my preferred way, is to use tools like wow, 9.4. Oh, ching. God, definitely went there. Okay, go. On Yandex Metrica, I don't know if anyone has heard of Yandex Metrica before. Okay, it's a free tool. It's kind of like, so it is a bit like the Russian version of Google Analytics, but it does some really cool. What's that?
It's also a pain in the arse.
Pain in the arse, really? In what way?
Well, for instance, look at the Russians.
Oh, the help behind it, or the just
some of the metrics. There's a Russian slant to it.
yes.
It's always intuitive as well.
Okay, it's free. Yeah, I mean there are tools like Hotjar which you can use if you don't want to use like a Russian version. The good thing about it though is it will do those heat maps. So it will say, okay, where are people looking on my site? And it will detect form field interaction. So if it's a lead gen website and you've got like 4 or 5 different forms, you'll see where people are getting kind of stuck as they're going through the site. Really, really helpful for analysis. Like either for like insurance websites or if you've got kind of lead gen or forms. We normally bundle both Google Analytics and Yandex and also a surveying tool. Those 3 normally kind of cover your main kind of basis. This stuff is really, really helpful for any kind of conversion rate optimization. So if you're getting more paid search or organic traffic, you then want to kind of juice that as much as you can, and these tools are really helpful for doing that. And as I said, like free is good. So that's good. If it's a website such as a banking website where you can't put anything Russian on there because they're really funny about that, then you can use another tool. This one's called Fengui. It's a bit like if you organise your furniture in your house and it's got to be kind of into straight lines, then this is the design equivalent of it. This one you take a picture, like an image snapshot of the above the fold bit of your website. So you should do a screen print. Bear in mind that only half of people will scroll below the fold. So you want to see the bit above the top, grab that and you can upload that to Fengui, and it then does these little heat map images. So it will guess where it thinks people are going to look. So whereas Yandex is where people are moving their mouse, which is correlated to where they're actually looking, Fengui does it where it thinks people will look. So it's really good for kind of litmus tests. So if there's any kind of designers in the room, or banking websites or finance sites, these are really great ways of kind of quickly checking stuff. And this one is not quite free, but it's like something like $10 a snapshot, like ridiculously cheap or something. So I recommend you check that one out if you get a chance.
What does it base its data on?
Yeah, so it will account for, it puts kind of priority in the kind of top left to, people normally start, people in England at least, they look from the top corner going downwards like that. So it's weighted towards here, and then it looks for colour contrasts. So for instance, there's a dark here, so it's grabbed that relative to a background, and then you can also manually add priority, like you could say, mark this as an element. So it's kind of, it explains it, it's a bit of a guess, but there is the science behind the guess. So
it's the optimal way of the layout of the page in Western languages.
Yeah. So it's very good, and I'll put a link to an example of a Fengui analysis in the meetup comments, so you can actually see how you can use it. It also does the inverse of a heat map, where it just shows stuff in black and white. And it's quite an interesting way of seeing a site and what the important pieces of that site are. So it's a good tool for the Arsenals, I think. Another one, this is more for the PPC kind of people in the room. With Google AdWords, there's one metric in AdWords which Google don't actually tell you. They make it really, or at least make it very hard to find, which is really annoying. It's actually your account level quality score, which is a number between 1 and 10, which tells you how well your account is being managed or how well an agency is managing it. So you've actually got to use third-party tools to actually work out what that number is. This is an example of one of these third-party tools, and it will say down here, what is your account level quality score? So if this one is 72%, which is pretty good. That number is correlated with the amount that you pay per click on Google AdWords ads. If you're a 10 out of 10, you pay a lot less per click than everyone else. Google kind of thinks, well, you're a very good advertiser, and it sort of rewards you for doing that, and it also makes your ads appear higher up as well. The inverse of that, if this bar was down here, then you'd be burning money because your cost per click would be way more than everyone else. It's a bit like if imagine like eBay, where you pay the bid is based off who bids the most. Quality score is in effect a weighted bid, so the better the advertiser you are, the less you pay in the auction. Really, really important on the AdWords side. If you get this wrong, forget about it. You're just not going to make any money or not going to get any sales in a cost-effective way. This one here, you might notice.
So are you tagging this into your site somewhere, or is it?
This one here, this is a third-party tool that's connecting to Google AdWords.
So it's connected to your AdWords account.
Yes, and it's pulling that data out, and then it's running this computation to say what is my quality score weighted for the volume of search impressions.
Got it.
And it's important to say this is weighted. You can have like one keyword that's 1 out of 10, but if no one searches for it, it doesn't matter. It's the very high volume ones.
Yes.
The other thing you'll notice on this particular report is you want to have a well-managed account. So you want a good quality score and also lots of changes, expected changes within a period of time. So check out this tool. It's free. It does, however, mean you've got to give WordStream access to your account, which is like if it's a banking site or whatever, you don't necessarily want to do that. So
They will pitch their heck out of you after they get it.
well,
They will pitch their
Oh,
heck
yeah.
out of you.
They do pitch you very well.
Yeah.
$300 a month minimum.
That's why I
sort
tried
of thing.
to push WordStream back to while I managed some of their accounts because
Also, their thing is to shame you that your score isn't good enough.
yeah.
that's a sales technique.
If you don't want to give them their data or you don't want to be spammed with phone calls, I think I've put a link in the meetup for the Excel version of their tool, so you can kind of manually run it without granting access to the data, and it will do a similar set of reports as to what they generate. If I can probably put the link on that on the screen in a second. That's helpful. Okay, books. It is.
They can send it to people afterwards. Like this.
Yeah, it's actually, I put it actually up here, it's that one, bit.ly offline-grader. But I will put it in the meetup comments later. And around, but are other people using any other tools for paid search analysis similar to the WordStream Grader, like any other kind of good ones?
SpyFu?
SpyFu. Yeah, I suppose for competitive intelligence. Yeah.
WordStream is the best one.
Which one's that?
WordStream is the best one.
Yeah, they've also got a Facebook grader which looks quite good too. Cool. We'll also mention another kind of free tool. So if you search for, there's a tool that we've been kind of developing, which if you search for either Accelerate Agency or SEO Agency Bristol, we should come up. And there's a link that says free SEO tools in the top left. This one again, similar to that site in Nibler, it will take a few moments to kind of like crawl through a website, but this one will do a more advanced kind of analysis. So it should do, I think it's 150 pages rather than just 5 pages, and it'll give you a much more kind of detailed report.
It shows you broken links, it shows you ways to improve your website, quite easy things you can just fix very quickly.
Yes, so try that out, see what it pops up with. It'd be interesting to see what the scores are again. See if we've got a kind of 9.6 again, because it's going to do a wider scan, not just those 5 pages. So just try that. So it's going to ask you for it's going to open up with kind of Google Authenticate kind of login. That's just so we can access your Google Search Console account, so we can get the data to come up with the improvements. What it will look like is this sort of report here, and it should have a number down here for the site optimization, like the kind of the 9.2 or 9.6. It should have a number down here, and again it will tell you things that you can improve on your website. I think we're doing all right for backlinks at the moment. Hold on. Site speed, account, home page, mobile optimization.
Just like we've done just about.
Okay. And yes, so what comes up on your one for that kind of check? I'm interested to see. Nice. I have put links to, on the meetup, links to some of the tools that we've mentioned within here on meetup comments, so you can kind of sort of see those. Is it still sort of scanning or?
It's still.
Yeah,
No, I'm
just,
still not navigating thing.
okay, we'll give it a chance to sort of scan. There's
President's agency. Into Google. The SEO agency, SEO Bristol.
Or best SEO agency, Bristol.
Yeah, so we've been able this for free.
Google Analytics agency.
Oh yes, okay, so you
Yeah,
go.
that's number 1.
Cool. And cool. Great.
You've got to register. You can register with LinkedIn, Google.
Okay, cool. And we've got some other kind of tools and tips on our blog, so we'll add the notes from here on there as well, including some Google Analytics plugins and Chrome plugins, which are on that list. There is actually another set of kind of useful takeaway kind of tips, which I've just put down here. So this is kind of a list of all of our best tools. So we've only gone through 5 on the screen here, but there's a bunch more that we use. I'll show you how to use this kind of file at the bottom. So I'm just going to open this on my screen. So this one here, you kind of need to do this on a laptop, so don't try doing this on a phone. It's just a text file, and it's just going to ask you to replace the word your domain with your domain, and it'll have a list of tools on that. So I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just going to open this link here, which is SEO tools. So that is going to just take me through to Dropbox. So I'm just going to download this file. Pressing the download button in the top right. And let's grab that. So is there any domains does anyone want to kind of run a test on their domain for one of these tools? So we've got a volunteer for a website.
You've got 9 points on
Do
there.
you want to use mine?
Yeah.
UK.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, on this file, I'm just gonna replace the word yourdomain.com on here with wealthclub.co.uk, and let's replace all. So it's now going to have a bunch of kind of things you can check on that. So, for instance, if we want to sort of see, let's say, if there's any, I don't know, PDF files on the website, like PDFs, you might want to move any PDFs actually to content on that. So you can now open those links and just see what kind of comes up. So there aren't any.
Good. All behind the sign-in wall.
Okay. And we'll just try, we mentioned sort of spine view actually on that. So we'll just see what sort of comes up on that. So in that list here, it's got a bunch of competitive intelligence tools. So let's just see what comes up on here. So this is the sort of thing that we'd use if we were doing a quick live audit. It's kind of a bunch of things that you could kind of check. And so market organic traffic is doing all right. It's kind of increasing. This is on the UK at the moment.
Who's the name? Kin Capital.
Whoops. But let's come back to that page. It's on organic. So you're doing really good on organic there. So you've got good kind of visibility. Although there is this overlap of keywords here where you're competing with these other competitors. So it's, and also these phrases here where you're not visible at all. So those would be good ones to kind of
The ones
target.
that the ones between Tuber Venture and Kin Capital, so that section left.
The orange section.
The orange section. Yeah, it's on that.
So
That's the one.
would these be relevant keywords to target?
Maybe.
So these ones
You
are,
put that in the same Ahrefs, and you see the volumes. Spike doesn't work very well for volumes.
so this tool, what we're trying to say on here, this one, is this is organic traffic to wealthclub.co.uk, and this is two other competitors. These kind of, the bit in the middle here are phrases that people are searching for, and then these two other websites are present that you're not getting any traffic from it. So these ones are potentially really good keywords to create content for or to improve positions and sort of targeting for. And there's some other kind of tools in this list. I'm trying to think of the groupie one might be quite interesting. So this will just show all kind of AdWords keywords. So you can run this on your site. So say you've got an AdWords account running and you want to check, see what competitive intelligence tools show. versus what you've actually got shown. You can check it on your side, then you can check it against someone else's side. So if you were going to launch an AdWords campaign, a good starting point is to say, let's copy someone else's campaign, or use the information about what they're buying to infer what we should be buying. So on here,
This is data US UK. Is that possible?
yes, oops. It may be the link that I've got on here. I need to just tweak it to the UK job there. Sorry about that. So these are potentially keywords that are in the.
So you hit a group. That's all keywords. If you hit something like EIS at the top left.
Yeah.
You should see EIS.
So you could use this to export and then import into AdWords, or use it for your SEO strategy. And there's a bunch more kind of tools in that list. So SEMrush is also on here, and then some other kind of tools like Screaming Frog, which is not quite free but almost free. So we've given away some really interesting kind of bits and pieces there. I was going to try and get you to create an account on that.
You can get a free 14-day trial.
Yeah, so with any of these tools, if it tries to ask you to pay for stuff, use the 14-day free trials first, just to, cycle through kind of email addresses. So that's kind of our list of kind of tools and tips. There's a way more that's kind of in this list that you can go through in a amount of time. I'm kind of curious to hear from you guys, what stuff are you using that I've missed from this list? Are there any cool tools or
That are free.
free or cheap? Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't Majestics. It's like the key SEO that's outside of SEO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Majestic cost money. It's not a free tool.
Well, you can so you can still get a 7-day trial. Or you can get a 1-month free trial.
So it is, within this list there are, it's got Majestic, Ahrefs, a bunch of kind of ones within there. So those, you can whiz through all of those and see which backlinks it can find.
Is there any more low-cost access or free access to Ahrefs equal for even 7 days? I don't think they can do it anymore. I think you have to pay for at least the first month. I'm not sure.
Ahrefs, 7 days, $7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. It's definitely the best link index in my opinion.
The Ahrefs has definitely increased its builds in these years.
I'm curious about out of the paid ones, which ones you recommend using the most? We use SEMrush quite a lot. We also have Moz. And I'm looking at Pinterest a bit, but kind of open to other opinions about which out of those three you find the most useful, because it would seem to overlap a lot in what they do.
Next pretty bad.
Ahrefs.
Pinterest, okay.
Ahrefs for link tracking, right? But what about for backlink index?
Ahrefs is good, but also you cannot combine it with Majestic. Combine Majestic or Trust.
Majestic liquor stores are definitely better.
Yeah.
It's always the keyword tracking that I find is the big difference between the two
You
tools that
mean
we
the
have at the
like
moment.
Do you use
ranking
Search
tracking?
Console mainly for that?
No, we're mainly using SEMrush or Moz. We see just quite a marginal difference between the results that Moz gives us and the results that SEMrush gives us.
Okay.
Results in terms of, sorry, link.
No, keyword tracking?
Are you talking about rank tracking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
rank tracking, yeah.
I have one to recommend to you, I'll tell you. Or I'll tell everyone now. It's SEO Monitor, which is about €50 a month.
Okay.
And it's, but they always do your custom quotes, so there's like tiers to make it easy to buy online, but you can always contact them and they'll say, oh, like, I don't need 5 websites with 1,000, I need 3 websites that, 200 keywords or 7,000 keywords or whatever, and they'll just post
Ongoing
it up.
tracking kind of thing.
Yeah, but it does an ongoing tracking, but the thing I love about it is it distills it into a single metric called visibility.
Okay.
So you don't have to kind of bamboozle your boss with 60,000 different metrics to look at. It goes basically what's the percent of impressions you're appearing on the first page, and then in the top 5 or the top 3, and then so it's kind of weighted visibility across all the keywords that you care about. And it'll also kind of, because basically to do that, it hoovers up your search console plus your analytics. So basically say who visited, where did you rank, where did you appear, and then who visited from that, and then did you get any goals and was there a high bounce rate and that sort of stuff. So it's essentially a big data engineering project, and they're really crap at selling it, but they're really, really good at to actually doing the software.
Okay, thank you.
So you have a.
Do you know them, Phil and Nick? SEO Monitor. They're a Romanian company, but they've got people in London now, and I recommend it.
See that?
Oh, well, you can see me recommending it.
Yes. That's
I'm on
what-
their page, am I?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's the power of writing SEO.
Yeah.
Go there and tell them you love their products, and they're like, right, can we put you the website right
We're going to give this one away. This a handy kind of takeaway. How many people here are using Google Analytics for monitoring their website? Almost everyone. How many people of those people that put their hands up have got dashboards set up that show SEO or paid search performance? Okay. How many of those people that still put their hands up have used all 20 spaces for those reports? Haha, got you.
Life's too short.
But what if I could tell you that you could press a button and you could fill all those 20 spaces in one go, in less than 10 seconds? So this is a handy little takeaway. It's just bit.ly GA-reports number 2, and it will add 20 dashboards that will show CEO level report, errors, JavaScript errors and 404s, site speed, audience demographics, it's got SEO PPC, it's got cutoff down there because you showed and you get so many on the screen. This is just a really good starting point in terms of monitoring your digital performance. There is one on here for kind of content, both existing and real-time content. So there's 5 real-time reports in here and then 15 other reports. Just one other note about this method. You can, when you open that link, it's going to pop up with this. It's then going to say which profile do you want to add this to, and you've got to select that profile. It's only going to show it in your login because these are kind of private dashboards. Really annoyingly, you've then got to go into each of the 20 and press make a kind of a dashboard within your organisation, which they don't allow you to import 20 and make them all visible to everyone else. So I'm just warning you that there's one extra step. It's annoying they do that, but they just do. So that would then mean that anyone within the company or the client can then see all of these reports. Because just seeing it in your login doesn't really help. You want to kind of make sure everyone can see those. Let me know how you get on with this. There's some really useful kind of stuff in there. This does assume that people use a set goal number 1 through 5, but there's a way of adjusting that so that if you use goal number 20, it still kind of works. But ask me later about a kind of method to do that, and I'll show you the cheat sheet for doing that. Another kind of useful kind of cheat sheet that might be helpful. Does anyone use Google Tag Manager? Yeah. Okay. Do you have a Google Tag Manager library?
A Google Tag Manager?
Library. A list of kind of, again, cheat sheets sort of thing. So let's say someone said to you, I've got a WordPress website. I want to automatically set up my WordPress website for, let's say, scroll tracking or clicking on email links or tapping on phone calls, all that kind of good stuff. Do you know how you would automatically enable that?
My guess is we follow a Bitly link.
No. Okay. You've got to. There's a login which is just that one there. It's free. I didn't create a password, by the way, so that's that for me. This number here.
2011.
What? No, it's quite old, that one. If the password doesn't work, it's because someone, it's got too many people all logging in using the same email, and every now and again Google says you've got to change it, so I have to add the number, the end set may become number 12. It's just annoying kind of Google security thing. If this doesn't work, I can manually add you to that list and you can get access to them. For the people that don't know, with Google Tag Manager, there's a feature called templates where you can import a kind of pre-configured thing. So if it's a content website or an e-commerce website, you can basically pull in all of those, and it's just everything's done for you. You don't need to manually configure. It's just all the work's done. It's good and something. The only thing you need to change is your Google Analytics account ID. The rest is all pre-configured.
And I'm assuming you need some kind of consistency with the way that you set up all of your events and everything to make that work.
Not with this one, no. This is using the automatic stuff within Google Tag Manager.
Oh, right.
So it's like
yes.
scroll tracking and
Okay.
all that stuff.
So not like customized events.
With anything that's custom or unique, you could blend this with your existing stuff. So you could kind of merge the two. But obviously I had to make this generic. So it will. The stuff about this though that is also generic is if it's on either WordPress, Magento, Drupal, and there's a couple of others in there. You can basically say, okay, I'm using this CMS, and there's a mapping file for that one. And you get a few extra things like the author gets pushed in as well, or post ID, whether they're logged in or not. So if you're doing kind of SEO analysis, and you want to work out, let's say, which types of pages are performing well. Let's say it's either e-commerce or publishing, and you want to say, are my blog pages performing really well versus my category pages? This method will allow you to do that. So it's quite good for that SEO analysis. And it also means your page engagement also kind of goes up because you've got these extra features like scroll tracking, so your average time on site and bounce rate will improve. Let me know how you get on with those and if you've got any feedback on them. I'm going to give away one other final tip, which I haven't actually put on the screen here, but it's a useful one. What if I could say that I can instantly overnight increase your organic traffic by, let's say, about 1.5 to 2% without, like, magically? Would you be interested?
Sure.
Okay. It's possible to do. It is a little bit cheating, but it is true. So it turns out with Google Analytics, it's obviously kind of US based, US centric. It doesn't necessarily know about kind of all of the UK search engines. I'm talking about the smaller ones, things like BT.com or TalkTalk or Sky.com, all those other ones. But if you put all those other small search engines up together, it does account for about 1.5 or 2% of traffic. So if you actually tell Google these ones are not actually referrals to my site, they're actually search engines, it means you get 1.5 to 2% more traffic by just putting them in the right bucket.
So if your demographic is older, then it's more.
Yes, yeah, if they're like, if they're like stuck on, was it Tiscali? Was there?
Or NTL World
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
BT Connect, and they will go via that portal every time they start the internet.
Yes. Yeah. So hopefully that's a helpful takeaway. It is kind of cheating a little bit, but it's true in the same way. So, okay, that's most of what I was going to cover kind of here. My question for you guys is two things. One, on Meetup, you can see in the comments on here. Where is it? It allows you to add a comment. So there's two things I just asked you if you can add. One, which of the ones I've mentioned was your favourite? Or the most useful or the most helpful? And two, what tool was missing from that list that we kind of missed out? And then the third one is just what talk or theme should we do for the next event? So we're kind of looking to kind of roll these on every month. We're also looking for kind of other speakers that want to get involved. So there's a talk on be it SEO for e-commerce or digital sort of strategy or
Content marketing.
or maybe SEO for finance sites. You know,
LinkedIn for SEO.
yeah.
LinkedIn
or LinkedIn SEO.
LinkedIn's good.
Yeah, we're kind of after ideas. What cool things do you want to hear about, and then we can put them in the diary and then sort of plan those out. So if you could add that in Meetup kind of comments, that'd be great. I guess kind of over to you now. So it'd be great to get feedback. What are your thoughts? What could we improve, and what was good? And were there any tools that I missed off from this list? Okay. And any suggestions or?
I think you've got a great list there, to be
Okay.
honest.
Cool. We will
Really
type this up and put it as a blog post as well, so you can kind of reference it. I will I mentioned Fengui as an example earlier. I'll just show you that in a bit more kind of detail. So this one here, so this was going on that Fengui analysis that you asked about earlier. You uploaded the first half of the site as a screenshot, and then you see these heat maps, or kind of inverse heat maps. So that one is just literally adding an image, and it kind of guesses where people are going to look, as in the dark colours. And then the other one here is an inverse heat map. Oops. What is it doing here? Oops, so that's a button. And this one's here about making buttons more kind of visible. So I'll put this as an example kind of on there so you can kind of see that. That's what I was trying to show. So that's an inverse heat map. So it's like, it's again, what's not kind of hot, but what's kind of, if you look at it from a distance, like what stuff is actually showing. So I'll stick that in the notes afterwards. The only other thing I was going to mention, if you go to our website, in the footer, there's a link to some free tools and resources, and we've also got an SEO audit. There's actually two, which there may be some useful kind of bits and pieces within there.
This has become an SEM rush post.
Oh yes, okay. I don't know. Okay, I'll try and find the link to that.
Let's type in SEM rush. Rush. 500,000 pages, and let's type in 500,000. Nick Brown. Oh yeah, oops. Oh, that's it. Second, the next one down.
That one?
Yeah.
So this explains that audit in a lot more detail.
It's using SEM.
So if you're needing to do SEO audits for your clients, there's a kind of a guide as to some of the things you can check within that. So this is a bit like those tools that we talked about earlier, but doing them in a lot more kind of depth and detail. So this is more relevant for it's a very large site, like big kind of publishing websites where you've got lots of content, lots of pages. Technical SEO pieces are quite important, where Google doesn't understand the site properly, or there's problems it's got crawling through it, then...
Actually, there's a good thing here on SEMrush to a free thing at the moment called SEMrush Log File Analyzer. Look at your server logs, you can find out some really good stuff in there.
Yeah.
So SEMrush / just go / SEMrush log file dash file. Oh no, sorry, you got to put a dash in.
Okay, go.
Analyze it, American spelling. Take off the S. A-N-A-L-Y. Y-Z. Take off the S. Yeah, this is really good. If you've got an account, you log in, you might benefit it for a while. Just log in. No, we're paying actually. But you can basically log in and it's free. And you can upload your log file, server logs, and it tells you what Google's doing on the website. And from that you can look at are there any 404s. Also, are there giving a lot of attention to one particular page on your website? Why is that? Could you put more links in that website, on that page? Also, if the wrong page is getting more Google activity, or tag pages or some other pages which shouldn't be getting activity, this is really useful. But that's
Isn't that usually like an enterprise tool? That's often like something that
this week. This is a look down as a by SEMrush. Extremely full does it for about 100 quid for a year. But this is really good, and it's really, we need to do ours every week. And basically, because actually one thing we've done, I can show you, / robot text. this has helped us really grow our rankings. The ISOagency.com
Safety feed,
/robot checks robots.
Yes.
You move down, go down. So these were all pages, because it's obviously WordPress, we're getting a lot of sometimes plugins, put them on and tick them off and they cause 404s and you can't see them. So this is basically removed all the 404s and significantly boost to our website.
Mhm.
So there's all the pages that should be indexed with de-indexed here.
So what Nick is talking about here
That's
is,
what the log file is.
so if you've got a large website and you need to control what's called a crawl budget, where Google gives you a limited number of pages it's going to visit and refresh within a period of time, then you need to control those pages and get it to visit the most important pages. So using relevant text file is one way to control that, so it picks the most relevant.
But this class from, I think, position 8 to position 1 for SEO into Bristol, if I do.
Wow. So it's not just crawl budget then, it's kind of in
Yeah,
effect
it's
all
optimizing,
importance.
yeah, it basically will just calls the right pages.
Cool. So kind of over to you guys a bit. What topic should we pick for the next kind of talk?
Okay, good suggestion.
Yeah, what would you like to hear about? I mean, with these with tools and some like technical bits and pieces. We were also kind of thinking about doing like live audits, like with what we just did there with one site, but also getting other people to kind of crowdsource. So like, I mean, we may kind of get the site in advance and then get people to kind of throw in suggestions, and the best suggestion gets a prize at the end. So it's kind of tapping into the crowd. That might be
So bring
useful.
a laptop in next time.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I think laptops would be really useful.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
can do that in the meetup, say, bring the laptop.
okay. And I mean, is there any sites that would be willing to have their site audited for an SEO audit?
Quite happy to be the guinea pig again.
Okay, we can do it.
But as long as everyone else is bored of finance and like 3-letter acronyms that you can't understand, so everyone's got a sexier side, like something about like clothes or something we can all relate to, then feel free to volunteer.
So my side, but it's also a bit financy because it's accounting sometimes. So, yeah, lots of many TLAs.
It's have to be a sign of people that are here. Not going to be a sign of this. They don't know that they're being.
Anytime.
That's the best option.
I think the aim is in some ways to share kind of how we would analyse,
Yeah.
and then also for people to benefit from, rather than, if you've got like 20 people in a room, then there's 20 ideas
Yeah,
to
yeah.
potentially kind of use. So we'll try and do that next time. So we'll open to ideas for sites. We still need to confirm then a topic for next time.
You can do a couple of topics.
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't you pick a client who's like someone who's your target client, and then you can crowdsource the kind of pitch for them. Just an idea.
Yeah.
Is that far from me?
3D analytics.
We could do that one.
We can do that one, that's a good one to do. It's a bar-based company.
Yeah.
Link building.
Yeah.
Always a good topic.
Yeah, I mean, Nick's got some really good tips for link building. We actually did talk about that at Social Media Week. So there's that.
They'll be using LinkedIn for SEO.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oops, in terms of theming, yeah, we can definitely do a kind of finance theme. All right. Cool. All right. So, time we got? It's 9:30. If we, has anyone got any questions they want to ask? 7:30.
You can have a break if you want. Just
Yeah.
have a network.
Okay, so there's any pizza left? There's like 3 pieces of pizza left. So literally, whoever's really quick might be able to get those last pieces. And I think I have to get your drink thing 9.3 by the way.
Did anyone beat 9.3 on the Nebula?
No.
No. Okay, I like Nebula.
Cool. Yeah, well, as I said, we wanted to kind of keep these events moving, trying to build like SEO and PPC community in Bristol. So yeah, kind of want to kind of keep it restarted and keep it moving. So open to ideas and suggestions, I think. So hopefully that's been helpful.
Thank you so much. Well done, Phil. How's the camera? How's the camera doing? Have a nice holiday. See you when you get back. Yes. Back on Wednesday.